It's about to be crisis mode for a lot of women. Some of them are there and they get it. Others have no idea what's in store for them. What's going on? How did we get here? And what does this have to do with men? I'm going to explain. Welcome back to Far From Eden. So many women have put career and education and then career and all their ambitions at the top of their list all through their 20s. This has been happening for a couple generations now. It has not led to anything good, in my opinion. I think it has helped to destroy the family. I think it has ostracized men in a lot of ways. It has cut incomes in half and made it so that, people don't get paid enough to support a whole family because we doubled the workforce. And what about these women? Well, in one word, they're lonely. They're realizing, wait a second, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. It's not what I was sold. And they're starting to realize it. I'm also going to show you guys a couple of the lies. And if you're here on Sundays, you know that we read fairy tales. And sometimes in the fairy tales, a lot of times in the fairy tales, there are witches. So even though there's propaganda telling women to focus on career all through their 20s, etc., there's another group that's telling us to do that. Older women. But before we get to that, let's listen to this young lady who really
I did everything they said that was going to make me happy. I built a career. I got my own place. I went on solo trips like a pro, the best hotels, flying business, you name it, right? The works. And I stayed independent, but no one told me about how lonely I was going to be on those trips. Being successful looks really good on the outside, but and I'm proud of everything that I did. Don't get me wrong. Like, alhamdulillah, I'm very proud of all of my accomplishments, but
you'll start to see this shift. The beginning was absolutely honest. And then you start to see the programming kick in where we tell ourselves, but I'm proud of my accomplishments and I'm da 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 da. And it's like we as women have to be able to say, no, it was a mistake. Achieving that meant nothing in the grand scheme of things. Relationships, family, real things mean something. But you can see where we still hold on to that. No, I didn't waste my time. No, I'm supposed to be proud of this. It's a very difficult thing for us women to do. And it would be better if we could say, no, I was lied to. I was told this is what I should do. This was my responsibility to go and change the world, make a difference and travel and have luxury and everything. That's what it's all about. We have to be willing to humble ourselves and say that was a lie and I believed it. And all of that I did on that track was a mistake. That's really hard for women to do, obviously, but she's almost there.
It was very lonely. I feel very lonely all the time. Success doesn't check in on you when you're spiraling at home, doesn't check in with you when you're having a bad day, doesn't check in with you when or just when you miss your family back home. Don't get me wrong, being strong got me very far in my career and I'm very proud of everything that I've done, but I'm done pretending that I'm okay because I'm not.
There you go. And she needs to stop pretending that career meant something and that it was the right choice. And then and only then can we say, truly shift to what is. So there's a recent article called, "Is It Really Lonely at the Top? How Career-Driven Women Often Struggle to Find Love." So actually saying it, we're going to get into that. The publication on the internet is Bona, B-O-N-A. I don't know. Take it with a grain of salt, something. We probably think these are AI. The author is Kakamba Falethenjwa. So, success in the boardroom doesn't always translate to success in the dating world. Many career-driven women find themselves excelling in their professional lives while struggling to form or maintain romantic relationships. It's because they're not prioritizing them. They look at it like it's a side thing, like they look at it sort of like that's entertainment, right? Dating, to these young women who are chasing career and status and all that, dating is entertainment. And think about it. If you are going out, getting complimented, being admired, and getting your dinner and everything paid for, and, you know, whatever entertainment you're watching, like going to a movie or a comedy club or whatever it is, whatever the date is, yeah, that's like on a side thing. That's like what you do for fun. It's not taken seriously. They take their education and their job seriously. It's absolutely backwards. The idea that it's lonely at the top may not just be a cliche. It's an unfortunate reality for many high-achieving women. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Marriage and Family found that women with higher levels of education and income were more likely to experience difficulties in dating. Yes, because they won't accept someone unless that person makes more money and has more education. That's an impossibility. Go watch Home Math. He explains it very well, but the women are the ones getting more degrees, and the women are the ones being promoted. DEI, all the rest of it, it's really pushed, right? So how are they going to find high achieving men who achieve enough for them? Furthermore, if that is how they are evaluating who would be a good life partner, I think we might have our morals and our standards all mixed up because no one talks about character. But just mathematically, that can't work. So of course they're going to have difficulties in dating. You know what? On that note, let's watch why they might have some difficulties in dating, because I think a man will describe it the best. This man sums it up very well. I wish a lot of women would hear this, because this is what they don't understand. Not only do men don't care about your career, a lot of men are fine if you have one, but they're not, that's not why they want you, right? And there's a lot of things with women when we have a career, not just a job, but like a career that changes us and also leads to this loneliness crisis, where when you're in your 30s and you've been prioritizing your job and doing all of that, suddenly you're almost incapable of being a woman.
Okay, this is too important to wait. In fact, if you get nothing else from my posts, as long as you grasp this one concept, you'll be way ahead of the game. You'll have the power to change your life. There's a big problem for women. It's actually the #1 reason why so many great women, beautiful, accomplished women who aren't supposed to be single, end up alone forever. It's also why plenty of good-looking, well-educated, successful men go out with much younger women. You see, the single biggest turnoff for quality men is when a woman has too much masculine energy. And so many women are walking around with this problem without even knowing it. But here's the thing, it's not your fault. As women, you have responsibilities in your life that need your attention, whether it's your career, your family, your home, or something else. You need to be responsible. And the more responsibility you have, the more masculine energy you are unconsciously using. The truth is, it's totally natural. Everyone has a combination of masculine energy and feminine energy. The problem is the energy that helps you succeed in your career or as a parent or dealing with things like mortgages and groceries is actually repelling the men you're trying to attract.
Not the parent thing, not as a mom. When you're a mother and there is a father in his proper role, being a mother is not going to masculinize you. It's going to make you, it's going to encourage more femininity in you. We don't see that now because we don't have fathers. And, we haven't for a long time, actually. They might have been in the house, but when it's female dominated, you don't have that. And so, yes, it will masculinize the woman, yelling at everybody, bossing everybody around, etc. The other thing is too, when we're in jobs, careers, we have all this conflict all the time. You've got clients, you've got, if you're a doctor or PA or nurse, you've got patients, you've got all these things. And to be tough in those situations, you have to put on this masculine cloak. And sometimes that cloak just seeps in and becomes who you are. And men don't want to be with the dude. They don't want to be competing with somebody any more than you really, as a woman, want some weakling. You don't want that. So it's the problem with simps. Women get real tired of that because it's not really what they want. So he puts it really, really well, and I wish that women would listen to that. And in a way, it's not our fault because the propaganda and stuff, but not stopping and realizing that we're on the wrong track, 100% our fault. Okay. Where was I? Journal of Marriage and Family found that women with higher levels of education and income were more likely to experience difficulty in dating. Remember, there's no men. Sociologist Dr. Emily Carter explains that traditional gender norms still play a role in modern relationships. Yeah, and doesn't that really make the overlords angry? Dang it. They're still following God's order in a way. They keep reverting to that. Quote, many men are still uncomfortable with the idea of dating a woman who earns more or has a more powerful career. That is a lie. No, they're not intimidated by you. You're putting your career first. Men don't want a woman who makes her career her priority as a wife. That's not the value system he's looking for. It's not that he's intimidated by you. That is the lie. I remember learning that in high school somehow. Oh, well, if you're smart and you're outspoken and you know who you are and you do well in school and blah, 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 then he's probably intimidated. I have no idea where I got that. But in my brain at like 17, it was something I just knew. This propaganda is real. It is real. She says, it's not always about intimidation, but rather a deep-rooted belief that they should be the primary provider. Maybe. But maybe it's also that the woman looks down on him. I'm not making that up. If they're always wanting someone who makes more than them and has a higher education than them, how do you think they behave? And how do you think they talk to men when they are in a relationship and they are the breadwinner? Do you think it makes a difference in how they treat the man and how they respect the man? Maybe it's not just that the man wants to be this is the lie that they tell us, that the man wants to be the primary provider so he can control us. That's what they tell us. So you want a man that can make more money than you, but if he makes more money than you, it's probably because he wants to control you. Is it any wonder that we're lonely and single? It's a complete paradox. Beyond societal expectation, time constraints are another major factor. A demanding career often means long hours, high stress, and little energy left for dating. That translates to little energy left for family. Yeah, because you're giving it all to your career. And at the end of the day, we know what that means. The overlords want you to give it all to your career. Dedicate your life to that. Forget about family. Dedicate your life to your career. Pay taxes. Be a cog in the system. Many women prioritize their professional goals in their 20s and 30s, only to find that when they're ready to settle down, the dating pool has shifted. That's one way to say it. This is where we end up.
Hi, yes, crying. I don't know how I'm going to get through the month. I can't afford it. I've got no one to help, and I don't know what to do. I felt really unwell last night, and I was meant to have 3 classes today, which is a lot of money. And I've got a shift at work tonight. I don't feel great, and I just couldn't teach. I just couldn't do it. So that's a lot of money I've missed out on, which I would have got next week or the week after, and now I don't know.
Look how weary she is. Look how worn she is. And I know she's talking about money here, money there, not going to be able to afford it, etc. This is way deeper than that. Finances and things, they can get sorted out, etc. This is much deeper. This is just, she's so tired. And she's lost because she did everything they told us to do. That's where these women are getting. They've done everything they've been told to do. Which is funny because they want to be independent. It's like, you did everything that the propaganda told you what to do. And this is where we're not capable really of doing this thing, this boss babe lie, independent, whatever. We're not cut out for it. Let's let her continue.
I don't know how I'm going to get through, and I've got no one to help. Nobody can help, and I've just got no one else to speak to. And I'm going into work on New Year's Eve. I was meant to have an early shift, but because I wanted to teach these classes really bad, I switched to a late shift for no reason now. And then I'm back in on an early shift, and no one knows, no one cares, no one knows what I'm doing.
That's it.
No one will wish us Happy New Year.
That's it.
And I just feel so alone, and it's my fault, and I'm an adult. I should be able to manage my money. But over Christmas, when you're trying to do things and you're trying to keep people happy by buying them things because you don't feel like you're enough as a person, and you feel like you've got to spend money and buy someone something. Man, what is this life? What is this life? I did buy myself a lottery ticket yesterday in the hope of, a miracle. But I I actually won £5 and a free lucky dip, which I'll go and cash in today. And I guess that'll buy me some milk and bread. No bread, only bread, coffee.
So she spent her money on Christmas stuff. That's why she's having this crisis. Why would she do that? She's desperate for love. She's desperate for that connection. And in a way, she's not even fully aware that that's the problem. If she won the lottery, she'd still be crying. Because like she said, nobody cares. Nobody cares what I do. Nobody cares what's going on. Because you don't have your person. Where's your family? Well, nowhere. Nowhere. She's been doing her own thing. And so have so many of the others. And now they're all paying for it. But it is not done well for the men either. Because they've been basically played with and kicked around as entertainment. Even though that's what they get accused of. That's interesting. It's funny how we often project and accuse you guys of what we're doing. And this is a younger woman coming to the realization. Because it comes to this. It will always come to this.
My whole adult life, because I have been through so much that people, friends, family, everybody always says to me, "You're so strong. You can do it. Just keep going. You're so strong. I don't know anybody who's as strong as you." I appreciate the comments, but it makes me feel like I have to always be strong. And let me tell you, like, I'm not. I'm not. I'm tired. I'm worn down. I don't want to be strong anymore. I need someone to take care of me for once, but there's nobody. I'm tired of being strong. I'm willing to put myself out there with this because way too often I felt like so alone in the way that I was feeling, and I really just don't want anybody else to feel that way.
Oh, but they will. Many of them. That's where we're headed for a major crisis of so many women being alone, except they'll have their cats. And that young lady, I get it. Her talking about everyone says that I'm strong. Here's the thing. I used to think that too. It's not a compliment. It's not a compliment to say, "Oh, you're so independent. You're strong." No, because that just means if you are a woman and people think, and even you believe that you don't need anybody, that's not a compliment, because that's a lack of vulnerability. That's a lack of acknowledging that we all alone are not enough. So being told how strong you are and told you have to be strong, it doesn't help us. It leads to just exactly what that lady was talking about. So the time constraints, right? Long hours, high stress, and little energy left for dating. Many women prioritize their professional goals in their 20s and 30s, like that girl who's starting to have a breakdown. Only to find that when they're ready to settle down, the dating pool has shifted. And that's the older lady. It's all these different women. They're all on the same track. A 2019 report by the Pew Research Center noted that professional women over 35 often face a smaller dating pool, as many potential partners are already married or seeking younger partners. They are not interested in a woman whose egg carton is empty. That is not what they are looking for. If they can find someone younger, more feminine, or family-minded, who can have children and wants them. And the older women are starting to realize, starting to pay attention. Trust me, they are. This next lady's proof of it. They're starting to realize what you guys want. When you're able to get a younger one who treats you a certain way, is feminine, is able to respect you and honor you, they're realizing it. And they're trying to repackage themselves into what you want. Because at the end of the day, I've told you guys time and time again, we want to be desired by you. So you keep your standards up, we'll change. And you go on strike and walk away until conditions improve. That's the only way to make us change. It's the only way. And all the women will say, that's not true. I don't care what men think. I don't care what men want. Girl, no. Makeup, clothes. I dress for myself. I do it with my friends. All lies. Anyway, back to our repackaged
If
woman.
you're the type of guy who needs a girl who doesn't go to the club, doesn't have any guy friends, she'll wake up and pack your breakfast and pack your lunch, well, congratulations are in order. Because when you get home from work, I'll be the dessert. You just met the love of your life.
I can hear you guys now about the tattoo. Yeah. Yeah. They're repackaging themselves. Because they figured out, oh, wait a second. Wait a second. I'm smiling, but it's sad. And maybe she's there for some, maybe she could be somebody's companion at this point. We are all broken messes. At least it's better to learn and change and do better. So I'm just saying, I get it. It's repackaged. It's very interesting that it's repackaged to what you guys are actually looking for. Do you guys think that at some point in her life she said, I don't care what men think. I'm independent. Probably. Ah. So many potential partners are already married or seeking younger partners. Dating apps while making connections more accessible don't always work in favor of ambitious women. Really? Do you know what else it doesn't work for? Average men. Anybody but a Chad. I have heard you guys back when you were using dating apps, if you're over that point now, like you put your profile on there and get nothing. Meanwhile, if you're a woman and you put your profile on there, even if you're mid or less than, you get people. Women don't recognize that. It's just you men. You don't like ambitious women. How dare you? I messed that one up. How dare you? That was better. You guys said you liked it, so I thought I'd throw that in. So they don't always work in favor of ambitious women. A 2020 study from Psychological Science revealed that men tend to swipe left on women who list high status jobs, perceiving them as less approachable or more demanding. Yeah, that's one way to say it. But also like masculine, yes, demanding, unavailable, because you're doing your career. Not really mother material. If you don't place family first, you're not mother material. You can't be both. We can't be both. They told us we could be. They told us we could have it all and be it all, but guess what? That's a lie. However, it's not all bad news. More women are redefining what happiness and fulfillment look like. Yeah, because you could just make it up. That's what we do. We just make it up. Okay, I don't like this situation, so I'm just going to mentally change it. Oh, goody, a relationship coach. Relationship coach Sarah Daniels notes that career-driven women often find love later in life when they're more confident and selective about what they want. Baloney. Baloney, 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 which means it's perfect time to listen to our massive cope and kind of witchy lady
For all the young women out there who are wondering what is going to happen when you get older and you're child-free and marriage-free. As a 48-year-old woman who has never had children and has never been married, I will tell you that life is amazing. I have a 3-bedroom home that I live in by myself with, of course, my cats, who are super cute and sweet. And I have an art studio that I am creative in all the time. I have a temple space where I do my healing work with people. I run my own business. I get up at 9.
Okay. Temple space where she does her healing. Which? I don't know, but also, how realistic is this? A 3-bedroom house? A temple studio? Whatever the heck? That's not realistic. This is so evil to tell younger women this. But this is why you have, besides all the propaganda and the movies and everything, you have older women telling younger women to follow this path, that it's going to be amazing. They're going to have all these things. They're going to feel secure. There's fabulous friends and your cats, and you're so happy. And they believe it. And you don't need anybody. So if you wind up not getting married or not having kids, it's actually good. Maybe you shouldn't. It's evil to tell these women this. And because women, young women, will believe that, oh yeah, I can have that. I'm going to have that. That's what I want. Therefore, I'll have it. They don't realize how unlikely it is that they will go through life and then have it on easy mode like this.
9 a.m. naturally. I don't work till 11. I make my own schedule. I go where I want, when I want, and do what I want when I want. I have incredible friends, so I spend a lot of time talking to them or going out and doing fun things. I've traveled internationally, sometimes for months at a time. I have the freedom to move. I've lived in many beautiful places and incredible cities. And if I choose that this isn't the place for me anymore, I leave and go someplace else that is the place that's fun and exciting for me then. Me.
Material things, experiences, luxury. Where's your character? None of this means anything. It doesn't mean anything. How is your soul content with this? But telling this to younger women is just plain evil. But this is what women do to each other. This is what they do. This is what the older women do with the younger women. They teach them, they train them, be single like me.
Let's see. Don't worry about what's going to happen when I'm old. The big argument is who's going to take care of you when you're old and what's going to happen when you die. Well, I have incredible friends and I have younger friends. So they're probably going to be there when I get old and when I die. And you know what? I have the resources to be able to pay for somebody who's probably going to take care of me better than whoever else somebody is expecting to take care of them, because usually people don't take care of their parents. A lot of times men don't take care of their wives when they get sick. So really all of the things that they say you should be so afraid of aren't real. And if you really want to have children, like you know in your bones that is what you want more than anything, great. If you know that you want to be married, great. But if you're doing things just because society has expected you to, or your parents told you that's what was supposed to happen, or your friends are all doing it, instead of doing that, maybe just go to therapy and figure out if what you're doing is what you really want to do, because this is a very precious life. You don't have that.
I can't take any more of her. Yeah, just like rebel against things because it's just society telling you what you should do. It's just society. I caught her absolute pure who she is in that moment, telling women to be like her. She's such a rebel. Success doesn't have to be lonely, she says. It just means you're waiting for the right kind of partner. Someone who isn't threatened by your ambition, but inspired by it. Who is that? Who is that? What man is inspired by a woman's career ambition? And how dare they insinuate that a man who isn't is lacking in character somehow? This is why you're alone. This is why you're alone. Because you want a man that doesn't exist. And you don't actually want that man. You're being told you want that man. You're being told he's threatened by your career and your ambition and everything. You're being told lies. And everybody's alone because of it. Because if a bunch of women are alone, guess what? A bunch of men are alone. And I get it. You should walk away because you don't need this career-driven baloney. It's not going to end up good for you. Just having a woman, just to have a woman, is not what you should do because they're not women. Whether lonely at the top or simply selective in love, sure. One thing is clear. Women no longer have to choose between success and happiness. They just need a world that catches up to them. The article starts out talking about what the issue is, etc., and winds up, oh, it's the world that has the problem. Could you imagine, you guys, women thinking that it's not me, it's the whole world. It's not my problem. It's the whole world needs to catch up to how ambitious I am. That is not going well. We have to be honest with ourselves. And women are starting to figure it out. And they're starting to say, it's not working. It's not possible. I tried doing it your way. Now, this is what is starting to happen. I would say quite a bit. And after we watch her little clip, I want to read to you the comments from the women because it's very interesting. You would not have seen this even 5 years ago. You would not. I don't even, well, maybe we didn't have TikTok. I don't know, but you wouldn't see this and you wouldn't see this reaction.
When I was in college, the vision for my life was to be like this bigwig in the entertainment industry. And in fact, I landed a super coveted internship at a major record label. I moved to New York City for the summer. I was working in Times Square. It was so glamorous. I was working for the women that I wanted to be. One morning when something happened, it completely changed my life course. The national publicist came in fuming and I was like, oh my God, who got arrested? Who did something stupid? She's in her office just going off. And I'm like, what the heck? I found out that our nanny needed the day off. And there's nothing wrong with having a nanny. But in that moment, it hit me that having a family would be more important to me than having a career. And I didn't want to leave my kids. And I didn't want to have that level of stress if they couldn't be cared for. So I started looking around the office and all the women who were in the position I wanted to be were 40, single, or just having their first babies who were at home with nannies. And it just hit me that that was not the life that I wanted. And don't get me wrong, there have been times where I'm like, did I make the right decision? Because I'm here changing diapers and my friend that I intern with is on the carpet at the Grammys. After being on the inside, I will tell you that life is not as glamorous as it looks. You are living for other people. You are living for the artist you represent, the celebrity you represent. And I wanted to live for myself. I wanted to live for my kids. I wanted to live for my family. And it was a tough decision to make at 20 years old, but I'm happy. And today I'm a stay-at-home mom of 3. And one day maybe I will find myself back in the entertainment world. When I was in college, the vision for my life was to be like this bigwig.
Stop. It's I wish she would have talked a little bit about her husband, but Anyway, here are the comments. This was me. Every woman above me was single or had a stay-at-home husband, traveling a ton, rarely saw their kids awake. I knew that wasn't the kind of mom I wanted to be. It wasn't for me. And yes, there are times I miss it. Yes, but I have zero regrets. Yeah, I think that's the devil coming and whispering in your ear. Don't you want to come over here? Why don't you eat this fruit, Eve? This one says, I love this, and I'm so glad I found your page. See, this is the advice we need, not that old witch we saw. Next comment, I love this. I love that we have choices, including the option to stay home. This is what, to me, the women's rights movement was really about. Well, sweetheart, it wasn't. But at least she didn't criticize her. I wanted to chase CEO level work, but in college I met one who told me they miss their sons. I am still corporate, but work-life balance. No, that's not a thing. It's really not a thing. Not a thing. Totally me too. Stay-at-home mom for 18 years and 4 children. I am forever grateful for that moment that made me realize I wanted to be at home with my kids. That's what they don't tell you. And they're saying you can have it all, etc. They're not asking you the question, who's raising the children? I think Kevin Samuels did a great job with that. Saying, all right, well, but when you're working, who's raising your children? The women are like, huh. It's almost like they think their children disappear when they're off doing something and their children are only existing when they're there. You know, and now I've even gotten to the point where like, you should be homeschooling them. And so there were a lot of supportive comments. I think it's fantastic that we have these influences that are much better for women. This is where we belong. I think we need to come out and be a little stronger with our words in supporting this, not just going, well, that's a choice. Because all you have to do is look at the outcomes. Look at the outcomes. You're not going to have all that one woman, I've got a 3-story house. I mean, yeah, 3-bedroom house, blah, blah, blah. That's not real. And personally, I don't even believe her. I don't even believe that she's happy with that. I think I'm kind of like, who are you trying to convince? You know what I mean? We're going to see more and more lonely women. And a really bad thing is they've been working all the time in their whole lives, and they're going to be lonely and masculine. And they're going to be angry and resentful, which pushes people away even more. So thankfully, we have some of these women that are getting it and passing it on. Not nearly enough. Not nearly enough, but this is all they're doing. They've pushed you guys away, and they were trying to become you and compete with you. And now they're shocked that they don't have you. They're like, where'd you go? It's on you, ladies. It's on you. This loneliness, this sadness, as much as we've been lied to, if we paid attention, the men weren't lying to us. The men were trying to tell us. They're not intimidated by us. They like us feminine. They don't care about our job. They just want us to, contribute and bring value. How hard is that? If we'd listened to the men, they were telling us the whole time, but we listened to everybody else. We didn't listen to God and Adam. We listened to the snake. And it was all about us and our ego. Now we're going to be alone and miserable. Invest in cat food. Anyways, thank you guys for being with me on this one and getting through all the TikToks. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it's painful, but we're doing the work. Make sure you feed your souls, protect your peace, and I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.